The Amish are widely known for their rather simple, self-sufficient lifestyle, often characterized by life without many of the modern conveniences, including electricity. Whereby most of the world lives with electrical appliances like ovens, microwaves, refrigerators, and dishwashers, the Amish relies on the traditional, age-old practices that have been passed down from generation to generation. Their cooking methods not only enable them to prepare tasty and filling meals, but also make them independent of the modern energy supply. The ways in which the Amish cook, bake, preserve food, and store ingredients without electricity are valuable lessons for those interested in self-reliance, emergency preparedness, homesteading, and sustainable living. It is quite a wonder how it is possible to cook without electricity in this world today. However, the Amish have refined methods that help them cook their food on wood-burning stoves, gas appliances, outside cooking setups, and by other methods of preserving food manually. Such methods not only work efficiently, but are also economical, sustainable, and deep-rooted in tradition. In this article, we will take a deep dive into how the Amish manage to cook all their meals, from baking fresh bread to preserving meat, without relying on modern technology. The importance of the kitchen in Amish life. For the Amish, the kitchen is not merely a place of food preparation, but rather it is at the heart of the home. Unlike the present-day house, in which people typically eat in rooms while watching the television or looking at their mobile phones, an Amish family gathers in the kitchen to enjoy meals, to talk, and to bond within the community. The kitchen forms a central focus of activity, with everything from preparing and baking meals to preserving foods and doing day-to-day work. The kitchen in an Amish home is usually created with efficiency and practicality. There are no electrical outlets, microwaves, or digital timers. It is filled instead with handmade wooden furniture, cast iron cookware, ceramic bowls, and shelves lined with preserved foods. The emphasis here is on natural materials, conservation of resources, and creating a warm, inviting space where family members can gather to prepare meals and share stories. Every Amish woman learns the traditional ways of cooking from an early age so that these precious skills are not lost to generations. Cooking is not considered a chore, but a meaningful part of daily life, requiring patience, precision, and a deep understanding of how to prepare meals without modern conveniences. Cooking without electricity. The power of wood-burning stoves. The most important appliance in an Amish kitchen is the wood-burning stove. Unlike electric or gas stoves, which allow users to control temperatures with the turn of a dial, wood stoves require skill, patience, and experience to use effectively. Amish cooks must carefully regulate the heat by adjusting the amount of wood being burned and positioning their cookware to ensure even cooking. How Amish wood stoves work. These are usually heavy cast iron, holding heat for extended periods, which makes them efficient for cooking as well as for warming the house. The wood burns in the firebox located at the base of the stove. Above this, there are several cooking surfaces and an oven indirectly heated by the flames. Since there are no temperature controls, Amish cooks use several techniques to regulate heat, including adjusting the air vents. By opening or closing the stove's vents, they can control how much oxygen reaches the fire, thus increasing or decreasing the heat. Using different types of wood. Hardwoods like oak and hickory burn hotter and longer, while softwoods like pine burn quickly and produce less heat. Positioning of cookware. Putting the pot and pans either close to or away from the fire is somewhat equivalent to varying the controls of a modern range. Wood stoves are great for preparing a wide assortment of dishes, such as soups, stews, roasted meats, baked products, and even coffee and tea. In fact, many Amish families will cook multiple meals per day, making use of the stove's long-lasting heat to prepare a meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner without restoking the fire each time. Baking without an electric oven. How the Amish make bread, pastries, and pies. One of the most cherished things about Amish cooking is that they can bake fresh, homemade bread, cookies, and pies without an electric oven. Baking in an Amish home requires careful temperature control, precision, and the right tools to achieve the perfect texture and flavor. The key elements of Amish baking: sourdough and natural yeast. Unlike modern commercial bread that depends on store-bought yeast, the sourdough starters and wild yeast that Amish families commonly ferment their dough with considerably enhanced flavor and improved digestibility. Cast iron and stoneware bakeware. Amish bakers like using Dutch ovens made from cast iron and baking in stoneware dishes because they distribute heat evenly and retain warmth for longer periods. Hand kneading. All Amish bread is kneaded by hand, as they do not use electric mixers or food processors, ensuring that the dough comes out just right. Wood-fired ovens. Some Amish families have dedicated wood-fired baking ovens, separate from their cooking stoves, and these are only used for bread and pastries. Honey wheat bread, cinnamon rolls, shoe-fly pie, apple dumplings, and homemade donuts are some of the most popular Amish baked goods. These treats are usually baked in large batches and stored for several days to provide the family with fresh, homemade baked goods throughout the week. Food preservation without refrigeration. How the Amish store their food. One of the most interesting aspects of Amish cooking is how they preserve and store food without refrigeration. Since they do not use electric refrigerators or freezers, the Amish rely on several traditional methods to keep their food fresh and edible for long periods. Root cellars, nature's refrigerator. A root cellar is an underground storage space that maintains a cool, stable temperature year-round. Amish families use root cellars to store a variety of perishable foods, including potatoes, carrots, onions, and squash. These vegetables can last for months when stored in a cool, dark place. Apples and pears. Certain fruit varieties can stay fresh for months in a properly ventilated cellar. Homemade canned goods. Most Amish households have hundreds of jars of fruits, vegetables, meats, and jams stored in their root cellars. Canning and fermentation. How to preserve food without electricity. Canning is a centuries-old technique that the Amish employ to store food for a long time. Employing glass jars, metal lids, and a boiling water bath, they can safely preserve vegetables like green beans, corn, tomatoes, and peppers. Fruits such as peaches, cherries, berries, and applesauce. Homemade pickles, relishes, and chutneys. Meats, beef, chicken, and pork, which get canned in their broth or gravy for long-time storage. Then there is traditional fermentation. This is how they ferment sauerkraut, pickles, and other dairy products besides adding probiotic benefits to such foods. Conclusion. The eternal wisdom of the Amish cooking. In the modern world, cooking without electricity seems to be a challenging thing, but for the Amish, it is just a part of life. They have managed a perfect and efficient, sustainable, and connected-to-nature food preparation system by relying on wood-burning stoves, root cellars, canning, fermentation, and hand-powered kitchen tools. Their cooking techniques are a testament to self-reliance, patience, and the value of tradition. Whether you are interested in homesteading, preparing for emergencies, or simply learning more about traditional food preparation, the wisdom of Amish cooking offers invaluable lessons that can be applied to modern life.